Live from L.E.P.D. Firearms Range and Training Facility, this is On Target, the latest from the firearms industry, the products and politics that affect your hobby and liberty. This program may not be politically correct, but it is On Target. Now, your host, Eric Delbert. Live from L.E.P.D. Firearms Range and Training Facility, this is On Target, the latest from the firearms industry, the products and politics that affect your hobby and liberty. This program may not be politically correct, but it is On Target. Now, your host, Eric Delbert.
Good afternoon. Welcome to On Target. We're broadcasting live from L.E.P.D. Firearms Range and Training Facility located at 999 Bethel Road. I'm your host, Eric, along with my father, Phil. Oh my word, guys, are we finally back?
No, it's a dream, and we're really not back yet.
I was wondering if you'd remember all that.
Well, it's like we're starting all over again. All of the show prep that I have to do. Wow, and
how do you get it all done?
Well, I don't.
You know what? You've had 8 weeks now to get ready for it.
It seems like 8.
So.
It's actually, I think, 5 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It seems like 8.
Right now, I sound rolled out of my ears, Eric.
Well, I can't help you. So we've been off for a number of weeks because of the OSU games. Matter of fact, guys, did you realize last time we were on, Ohio State hadn't won a game yet?
The 15th was the last time we were on.
Wow. I think it was even before that, wasn't it?
Well,
yeah, I think
our
it was
show
the 5th.
was the 15th.
Yeah, I think it was just prior to Ohio State coming on. So a lot has changed in the last 5 weeks. Well, we are, of course, the owner of the L.E.P.D. Firearms Range and Training Facility and are active law enforcement. But for 1 hour on Saturdays, we put together a group of firearm experts to discuss new products to the market, training tips, and oftentimes political topics surrounding the Second Amendment. Our commitment, though, is always bring you the facts about the industry and ultimately help our listeners with any questions related to the safe, responsible ownership of firearms. So guys, today on the show, we have so much. And did you guys know we are the lead-in to the best Buckeye coverage today?
Because we are, never mind.
The best gun show.
There you go.
Best gun show coverage.
So immediately after our show today, it's going to go to Stan Jackson and the guys down at the Ozone on campus. Yeah.
Good. Very cool.
So we're going to get caught up and on a lot of the things that have gone on over the last 5 weeks. There's been so much.
I know.
It's
an incredible
fun.
And every time something goes, it's like, wow, that would be a great story for this weekend. And then there's not.
So now it's old news now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but a lot of it's still very relevant.
Very relevant.
Look at politics, the call for gun controls. So much more. We're going to jump right into that today about 1:20. We're going to do things a little different, just kind of mix it up this first time back, get to the gun of the week in the first segment, kind of get that out of the way and spend the rest of the
that'll
time.
Throw me off.
Spend the rest of the time kind of going through just a whole laundry list of stuff. So up first, we are going to jump to the gun of the week. That is Ronnie this time. Ronnie, you've had 4 months to prepare for it this time. I hope.
4 months.
Well, it seemed like
and
it.
He just, this morning, I saw him over at the gun rack doing eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and now he walked over with this.
And I caught a tiger by its toe.
Yeah. So that one's coming up here in a minute. And it's one, Ronnie, that I was surprised on how much attention it's actually getting out there. One that when we ordered in, I was never thinking that it was going to get as much as attention as it does. But that's going to be coming up here momentarily. If you want to jump in with us, 821-WTVN or 1-800-610-WTVN. There's going to be a lot of controversial topics coming up. You can always follow us on Facebook. That's L.E.P.D. Firearms and Range to get all the latest announcements. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, which now also has video podcasts, thanks to my son of the show.
And he does a great job. Unfortunately, I have to wear reasonable clothing and I haven't shaved, have I?
I don't think you shaved the last show.
It'd probably be better if we bought him one. It's close to Halloween. I think a Halloween mask would be appropriate.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Mark, because usually people say I don't need one.
So if we don't get to a topic this week or an upcoming week in the show, feel free to send us an email. That's ontarget@lepd.com. We monitor those throughout the week. So joining me today in the studio, once again, No JC. He is taking off a couple more weeks, staying at home with the family, getting some relaxation time. I don't know if I told you guys this, but I got a text for him 2 weeks ago. And I said, hey, John, how you doing? He was away at a cabin and stuff. And for anyone else, this would have been a surprise. For John, it's just not that big of a surprise. I said, what's been going on up there? He says, well, today I drove a tugboat through Traverse City. Like, why did you drive a tugboat? Well, they needed a tugboat driver. So I have a picture of John, we'll post up there to Facebook, of him driving a tugboat down some river.
Now that is really scary. Yeah, that is. Really
He looked good though. The wind was blowing in his hair and kind of
I
flowing.
can think of all kinds of interesting remarks.
Yeah, so could I. I'm going to stay away from that.
Yeah.
I also have here to my left our Director of Training, Mark. Mark, I see tons of full classes again.
Classes are going, plus we've added emergency preparedness classes. So
Ooh,
if you
I didn't know that. That
yep.
would be, yeah.
So, and there's different levels. We also got the survival training now at different levels. And we do home, we'll actually come out and inspect your home and recommendations for how to secure it and what to do and prepare. How to create a preparedness, home preparedness.
In your emergency preparedness, do you talk about go bags and stuff like that?
Yes, we do.
Oh, man.
Great sign,
We'll
Ronnie.
even help you put one together.
There we go.
I've already got like 4 different ones.
That's true. You don't have a go bag. You have an entire backpack you carry with you.
Right.
So to my right is Ronnie from Boom Boom Tactical. What's been going on in your world in the last 5 weeks, Renee?
Well, thankfully, things are starting to pick up. You know, the summer slow period is kind of winding down and people are starting to bring guns in to clean. As a matter of fact, I had an individual brought a shotgun in to clean, had a little bit of rust on it. It was really, really dirty. I cleaned the shotgun up. It looked like I had just overhauled somebody's engine. I mean, it was that dirty. And the guy came in to get his shotgun, and I thought he'd be real happy, and he looked at it, and he had kind of a frown on his face, and I'm like, oh man, what did I do? So he goes, hold on a second, I'll be right back. He runs out to his car and gets the serial number to his gun to make sure I was giving him his gun back, because he didn't recognize it.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
So,
Wow. That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
That's
pretty
a
neat.
cool story.
But we've got some new Glock stuff coming in. Apex has a new trigger for the Glocks now that's going to be really interesting, and I've ordered one to kind of try out and run it through its paces. So
Supposedly, what I heard about that was that it shortens the pull. The pull's shortened, almost like a fulcrum trigger.
yeah, and that's going to be interesting to see because with a Glock and how it operates. I mean, does that mean the spring's under tension, or
Yeah.
who knows? So it'll be interesting to try it out and see. And I know you're a big Glock fan, Mark. So.
So I love custom triggers.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll tell you what, Ronnie, I mean, I keep stocking the HD sight area.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
we just sell a ton of those, and what a great way to improve the sights on not just the Glocks, but the Smiths and the Springfields and so forth. Head over heel. I mean, just amazing what those do versus the normal.
And we've got them in for a lot of other guns now. A lot of people see them on the Glocks and are kind of envious. Well, we've got them for the Springfield now, the XDS,
That's
the MP
That's something
Shield.
we strongly, if
Yeah.
you're taking any advanced training or home defense classes, strongly recommend the sights because you need a quick sight picture. And 3 dots work, if you're at the range. But if you're coming from a holster or from a nightstand and you instantly need it, having those aftermarket sights.
Yeah, that big front sight.
Well, and that's kind of neat too, because Mark has a couple of his guys that come in all the time, and one of the guys that started your first classes, and he was a little hesitant with his firearm and stuff, and now here we are 4 months down the road, and he's getting the sights. He says, "Yeah, you can lighten that trigger up a little bit more because
Yeah.
I feel a lot more comfortable." And it's kind of nice to see them progress.
And that, as we take them down the road, that's what we do. When we see them reach that level, then we'll make the recommendation. I know who you're talking about because he finally reached that point.
I also have here to my far right my father and co-owner Phil. I see that in these last 5 weeks, we now have 2 highly trained guard dogs at the store.
Highly trained. Actually, every now and then you'll see them run through the store, and one's chasing the other. And I'm not sure, but when they go through my shop to get out to the backyard, things get knocked over. And
Drill presses.
Drill press. One of our dogs, I'm not sure which one it was, just knocked over a drill press. I mean,
Well, they're not gentle. I mean, they have some meat behind them,
and really the training's coming along pretty good. And every so often, we'll let them kind of roam the store. We still have them under control. We let them roam the store, and Jet, for instance, he just goes up to customers and just takes all that loving that he can handle, and I mean, they're really great dogs. They're really good dogs.
So if you want to check out the dogs, they're here most days, although they are on duty, so they are being trained, so, but they are great pups. If you missed the show, you can always catch the podcast at WTVN.com, or if you want to come in and meet the guys, stop by the showroom anytime throughout the week. That's 999 Bethel Road. We're also on iHeartRadio every week if you're not close to your car radio during the show. So we're going to jump right into the Gun of the Week, Ronnie. This week is sponsored by Cafe Courier. They're like having your own personal restaurant delivery service for all your favorite restaurants. I teamed them with you today because
right next door to us.
Right. It's really simple. Call our buddies at Cafe Courier, 614-457-3900. They have, I think it's over 100 restaurants now that you can order from and have it delivered right to your home. Great guys, great service. What do you have for us there, Ronnie?
All right. Today we've got the Mossberg Patrol, which is if you didn't know any better and didn't see the bolt on it, you would think it was some sort of a M16 variant or something, because it can handle magazines. Thank you.
They're called magazines, Ron.
It's been a while.
At least you didn't call it a club.
Okay.
Yeah, right. And it's a beautiful gun. It's got it shoots 7.62, which is, the NATO 308, or 5.56, which is kind of neat. It's got a 16.25-inch barrel. It has a flash arrestor on the end. It's a 1 in 10 twist. It's a really nice gun.
Did you say 308?
It comes in that. You can get that model as well.
Actually,
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What
Okay.
caliber is that one?
This one's the 308. Now we've got both calibers here, and we've got a really nice one in the 5.56 that has the telescoping stock on it and some different things like that. But it's kind of a people are trying to compete with Jim Cooper's, or is it Jim or Jeff?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
The pilot.
his Ruger Scout. And it's like that, plus it's a little better because it comes with a really nice scope rail on it. It's got great...
It's about the size of the 30-30 lever action.
Yeah.
So it's like a very small, compact gun, but it has you can get that 308 behind it.
And they purposely make it nice and light. So,
that's
if
sharp.
you're out in the field hunting and you're way out there, this is something that you wouldn't mind carrying with you all day long.
And I've been surprised how many people have been asking for it. And like this particular one shoots 5.56. It kind of competes with that Ruger American, I think they call it.
That's the Scout.
The Scout.
The Ruger Scout.
There's also another line, American, I think, that has popped up here recently that we're going to be talking about in future shows and stuff.
There's a lot of people that are in the race to get their variants out.
What's the price tag on that one?
Usually runs somewhere around $748, or then
Depending on that.
availability.
Good gun of the week. So
Now,
next,
I thought those came with a scope too. Can you get those with the scope?
Well, it has the scope
I mean, do
mount.
they come with the scope?
I don't know if there's some variants that
There
might.
is a certain, but we don't
Okay.
have that one.
Okay.
So good gun of the week there, Ronnie. Looks like I'm up for next week. I got to start that. And for you listening out there, Big Ed, I'm glad we finally got to the gun of the week for you. He's sending me hate texts here throughout the whole show, like get to the gun of the week.
Well, this is one he'd like to.
I know.
Yeah.
He'll probably be in here shortly. So when we come back, we're going to talk about one of the many topics that is going on out there, from the marijuana debate to the politics to some of the gun control measures that some of our politicians want to put into place. So,
And the big one, the mayoral.
and the mayoral one too, yes.
yeah.
We're on target, broadcasting live today from L.E.P.D. Firearms and Range. Give us a call, 821-WTVN or 1-800-610-WTVN. We'll be right back.
The best Buckeye coverage early show today at 2.
I think this got
Your
bumped
game
up.
face on with us as we get you everything you need to know before
Did it go down?
by TNT Equipment. For all your construction rental needs at the home of Buckeye Nation. News Radio 610 WTVN.
I can bump you back up
It's the
again,
perfect
but
time to
it
take
was
your home with
all
beautiful
the way
new
over
tile
in
now
the
during Menards
parking lot.
Oktoberfest sale. Save big on ceramic, porcelain, natural stone, glass tile, and more.
Hey, you almost
Beauty
got
to
it
your kitchen
down.
or bath with
Make
Mohawk
it look like
tile.
you're drinking.
3-inch by 6-inch
got it.
by 12 tile
Got it.
features a glazed smooth finish in a white or biscuit, only 15 cents each. 12 by 12-inch Lakeview ceramic tile mimics the look of rustic natural stone. It comes in 3 colors for just
Some might
I say the better house.
Back in the police force. Back in
If you smell something
the
like
police
rotten
way of
eggs,
saying that,
it could be natural gas.
that's his half
So
unit.
smell.
Now, if he had kids, that would be his quarter unit.
That is too
So
funny.
Mark is the unit, half unit, and then quarter unit.
Natural gas.
But is it
Areas
possible that
immediately.
she could be
Then
the
call
unit?
Columbia Gas of Ohio.
True.
Yeah, we could.
Not public.
Yes, you don't want to talk about that public.
Learn more at ColumbiaGasOhio.com.
Won't admit to it.
Greg, if people have turned off all their TVs, radios, smartphones, and tablets to avoid hearing what the stock market is doing, what does that mean?
Because the one thing it may mean is that they have their retirement nest egg in the wrong place. It can be very stressful watching the value of the retirement funds decline.
You're so right. That's why we believe at Legacy Retirement Group, we can show you ways to help generate the income you'll need in your retirement years and give you an in-depth analysis of your estate to help ensure that you're receiving the maximum benefit provided by law.
Don't spend time wondering how the stock market may affect your retirement nest egg.
If you have saved $250,000 or more for your retirement, call for a no-cost complete retirement review. 614-336-7660. 614-336-7660. Or visit LegacyRetirementGroup.com.
By contacting us, you may be provided with information regarding the purchase of insurance products, including annuities, licensed in Ohio.
Chief, with all the noise in the market today, how do you cut through the clutter to get folks to hear your message?
It's actually pretty simple. Value. Hyundai offers the most car for the money.
That's true. And Dennis having 2 Hyundai stores makes it even better for Central Ohio buyers.
They can visit either Dennis Hyundai of Dublin or Dennis Hyundai on Morse Road.
2 stores means double the selection of all the new Hyundai names, especially the all-new Tucson.
Whether it's an SUV, car, or luxury vehicle, Hyundai has the best value in the market today.
Not to mention the real value proposition.
Hey, Sean.
Hyundai Assurance, America's best warranty.
Well, you didn't send me weather or what?
Miles of limited powertrain coverage.
And Dennis offers specials that change with the market. For example, lease
Really?
2016
Tell me,
Hyundai
what is,
Sonata only $199 for 36 months with 2016 up front.
And there's equally impressive deals on Elantra, Santa Fe, Accent, and Genesis.
Log on to DennisHyundai.com to check out our entire 600 combined car and SUV inventory.
I guess the loudest statement you can make today is...
You want to do it? Can you do it from your side?
And that's what you can expect from Dennis. The
I'm gonna be making it up.
Don't miss the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend at the Mockery Stadium. Crowds the largest display of hot tubs and swim spas in the region from 5 major brands and up to 50% off. That's the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend at the Mockery Stadium. Visit
Okay, so high today's...
Have you ever thought you'd like to buy and sell houses?
Okay, so high today of 49. Sunny tomorrow, high of 50. It's going to get cool tonight though, right?
Keeping you awake at night. We're in the best time in 25 years to make a fortune in real estate.
Okay, 40 degrees to kick off.
My name is
And then
Ron.
sunny, high of 50 tomorrow, and then next week we get back to 70s?
And personally bought hundreds of houses myself. If you'll call 800-970...
Okay, high of 54 tomorrow.
24 hours and leave your information, I'll send the first 500 callers my holiday
Okay, so high today 49. For tonight at kickoff 40. Okay, so your ABC 6 first warning weather.
I'll show you how to build a 6-figure income part-time with no previous experience.
Okay, I forgot all about you just now.
Call 800-970-6159, 24 hours, and get...
Dawn, okay, I will, we'll probably take her right off the bat.
800-970-6159.
Oh, guy? Oh.
Take your life back and make this the best.
Ooh, holster question. We got the holster man here.
970-6159.
All right, how long till we weather?
You know, I wish I hadn't used that match to find that gas leak. I wish there was a station on the iHeartRadio app that played all the songs and stations I've thumbed up. Yeah, that'd be nice too.
Your wish has come true. Our iHeartRadio app now has My Favorites Radio. Every song and station you've thumbed up is now on one personal station. Your station. My Favorites Radio. iHeartRadio. All your favorite music. All your favorite stations. All free. Use our iHeartRadio app today or listen online at iHeartRadio.com.
From the Central Ohio Chevy Dealer Studios, it's Chevy Truck Month. Get to your Chevy dealer and make a strong decision. News Radio 610 WTBN, an iHeart radio station.
Your ABC 6 first warning weather. For today, it's going to be a high of 49. Tonight at kickoff, we'll be down to 40 degrees. For tomorrow, sunny, high of 54. Next week, it's sunny once again, high in the 70s. Looks like most of the week. For your severe weather station, News Radio 610 WTVN.
Your station for news, traffic, and weather. News Radio 610 WTBN.
Welcome back to OnTarget. I'm your host, Eric. This is our first show. At least it feels like it.
That
after
was
being
good.
off
You just snuck that right in there, man.
We are broadcasting live today from LEPD Firearms Range and Training Facility, and as what you might expect, it's been a while since we've been on air, and things are a little rusty, and so we apologize for that.
But you know you're rusty when you've got to pull out a sheet that tells you what to say when you have that memorized.
I know. I've had
But you know what? Nobody else is going to know unless they watch the YouTube video.
Right.
Then it's going to be obvious.
I want to edit that. So we're broadcasting live today from LEPD Firearms and Range. I'm your host, Eric. Ronnie from Boom Tactical sits to my right. Mark, our director of training, to the left, and my father and co-owner, Phil, to my far left. We are minus JC for today. We do have one caller before we get into a bunch of the topics, and I think I heard at the break, Papa, this caller might be right up your alley. It might be a holster question.
Yeah, I'm the holster expert. Yeah, go ahead.
Don, you're on with OnTarget.
Hey, I was wondering what kind of holster I should get for you. H&K, USB Tactical, and the Crimson Trace laser on it.
Whoa. Well, you know, anytime someone comes in with a laser on it, if it's one that goes on a rail, it's tough to find a holster for those. We have some. It depends on how you want to carry. You want to carry it on the outside, inside. That's outside. The outside.
Probably one. And sir, are you looking for something that has a retention snap to it, or open top, or?
Probably open top.
Open top.
Yeah. Well, the best, you know, what we always do is to make sure when you come into the store, have your firearm with you so that we can try it, because sometimes the labeling on the package will say it's for a certain gun, and then it may be too tight, may not fit very properly. The thing is, whenever people put lights on their firearms or lasers or whatever, it obviously adds to the profile of the firearm. It makes it kind of tough to find a holster for it. But we do have probably the world's largest holster supply.
They are making a lot more holsters for the rail-mounted equipment. Yeah, is your laser, is it rail-mounted, or is it one that's mounted in the grip? It is rail-mounted.
Yeah.
Well,
I would recommend.
Rail-mounted. Unfortunately for H&K, you have to put a rail adapter on it.
Right, which it brings it down a little lower. I would bring it in and let's try some of the holsters that we've got for the rails and see if we can find something that fits.
And Don, something else too. It's just out of coincidence, we have one of our employees who has that exact same setup, so we can also turn to him and see which one fit best. It might save you some time as well. But stop by anytime. Any of us can help you.
And if you happen to stop by when I'm here, I am the holster expert here, so we will help you out.
Self-proclaimed.
Self-proclaimed.
Thanks for calling, Don. So this week we are going to deviate a little bit from the normal lineup in that we just have, we're going to kind of go back and forth with some of the hot topics. I know we only have a few minutes here, so we'll take one maybe that doesn't require as much time before we get to the bottom of the hour. Something else too, guys, I forgot to say, there's just so much to talk about right now. Do you know that over the next couple weeks we're going to be giving away some tickets to the OSU Minnesota game?
Whoa.
Yeah, that's...
now can Ronnie and I win?
No, you're excluded. That's courtesy of the Columbus Car, Cigar, and Gun Club. They donated a couple of those. They help sponsor part of the show, and so over the next couple of weeks, look for that to be given away on air.
How do you enter?
Actually, throughout the week, we're going to give a little tidbits out there on how to do it. It's probably going to go back to the callers and some of the customers, be all put in there.
If you are the 100th caller, they will put you on.
So one of the topics that has been just a big topic here in Ohio is the whole marijuana law that's coming up for a vote in a month. And, you know, one of the things that we were thinking about that some of the firearm owners out there might not be thinking about is that this law is going to be a state law. And federally speaking, they don't recognize marijuana.
And federally, they're still enforcing, even in the states that allow it, the federal government is still enforcing it. The IRS still shuts these places down. DEA still raids them. But one of the things people need to realize, the ones that are yelling past the marijuana law, is in every state so far that's passed it, you had to surrender your CCW and you could not have a firearm.
Well, and that's a great point, Mark, because on the 4473 form, one of the disqualifying questions here is, are you a unlawful user or addicted to marijuana or any depressant, stimulant, or narcotic drug? I mean, if that is legal here, but you have to answer that because federally it is not.
That's a federal form.
Right.
Yeah.
They actually had a debate about this several years ago, and the anti-gun politicians said that needed to be added to the legislation, and that's where that stemmed from.
Right, and that's interesting about what you're saying about concealed carry, because if that comes down, that's going to be a lot of people affected since we're such a strong CHL holder state. So
it's actually flagged with the medical side. So if you know, in one of these states that have the medical marijuana and you have a prescription for it, that is a flagged prescription, so you lose your CCW.
Wow. When we come back from the break, we have a bunch of other political topics. We're going to talk about Tacoma, Washington, and a couple other places out there who are doing some things to control guns, or so they say. We're on Target, broadcasting live from LEPD Firearms Range. We'll be right back after the bottom of the hour news.
Hi, this is Matt McCoy, and I'm a member of Tell Ohio Company because my money stays local and because they have great offers for members. Like up to $1,000 back to refinance your car loan. Join Tell Ohio today. Start at tellohio.org. Certain restrictions apply.
Has another year gone by and still you've done nothing with your yard? This is Dave Caroselli, owner of Caroselli's Outdoor Living. There's no better time than now to get a jump on spring and start planning your project for next year. Call us now at 614-620-8356 and don't let another year pass you by. That's 614-620-8356.
Is that they should outlaw guns because
it's tough when all those promotions can't keep up with your business card. At Office Depot Office Max, we offer same-day color business cards starting at just $9.99. Our experts have everything you need to gear up you and your small business. While you're climbing the corporate ladder, we'll be right behind you with a business card for every new title you take on. Office Depot Office Max. Gear up for great. Matt single-sided cards, quantity 500. Visit OfficeDepot.com/save for print coupon and find participating locations.
News Radio 610 WTN Allison White. Microsoft is allowing anyone to join a Skype chat, even if they do not have an account. Skype users can share links so people who do not have accounts and do not want to open one can get in on the conversation. In time, the free link will be available for mobile users. Nevada's gaming board is going after fantasy sports operations. The board says if people are betting money on daily fantasy sports contests, it's considered gambling, and therefore companies offering those contests have a license to operate. Those who do not get a license will have to shut down. This comes as the FBI and the Justice Department begin investigation into fantasy sports. For your ABC6, first warning weather forecast, sunny skies today with a high of 48. Partly cloudy and cold tonight with a low dipping down to 28. I'm Allison Wyatt. For breaking news and weather alerts instantly, follow us on Twitter at 610 WTVN News.
It was 1960 when Allen had an idea. He would like to open a coin shop, and he started small in Westerville and slowly built reputation with good value.
Oh God, I love those things.
Allen's
Your
coin
fingers
shop
are all
was bigger
yellow,
than
you
Allen
got
probably
yellow
could have
dust
ever
all over your
imagined.
shirt.
But Ed and Tom and Tommy and Dave and Doug and all the staff make sure every day that the spirit of Allen lives on. It's about quality. It's about making sure that if you take it
you gave me a look and I thought that you needed something and I was like,
was it this look? Yeah.
No, it was
this look? And if you have questions, you want the people to be able to tell you the story and explain why.
You need to get away from this script.
It's the same with
relax.
a state jewelry cut glass. So many ways to collect, and you can really be in touch with them all at Allen's Coin Shop. Shop them at State Street in Westerville or online. It's allensinc.com. Allen's Coin Shop, serving collectors since 1960.
For Mark, being a CFO means he knows competitive pressure. He chose First Merit Bank to help develop a plan to expand his warehouse and take his business global. Their skilled team worked closely with Mark to customize his equipment leasing, real estate financing, and global banking, giving his company the competitive edge. To learn more, call 855-FMERBIZ. That's 855-363-7249. First Merit Bank, you first. Subject to credit approval. Some restrictions apply. Refer benefit terms and conditions. Member FDIC.
They'll do it to their shoes and clothes,
so far,
and
so
books,
good.
and toys
It's been
and
a while
games.
because of the
They're
Buckeye
kids.
game, so it
They live
starts
100 miles an hour.
You gotta love that
It can be
camera,
hard on
man.
stuff.
It's unbelievable.
Parents are constantly faced with a balancing act between budget
just
and
cameras
value.
nowadays, like
Will the
being that
$40
small, you
shoes
remember
last
these
twice as
cameras?
long as the $20 shoes?
Oh yeah,
This is Doug
I believe
Windbigler
it.
from
Yeah,
Amish
it's
Originals
4K,
Furniture
yeah,
Company.
good shit.
Our furniture is built to withstand the rigors of childhood. Bedrooms, desks, and TV stands sized for kids' rooms are built to the same quality standards we maintain throughout the entire store. Furniture this good won't keep them from trying to flush the kitchen. Dovetailed drawers, solid hardwood panels, and quality construction ensure that the kids will neither wear out nor outgrow the furniture. Kids love our stuff because they can still be kids. Maybe they shouldn't jump on the bed or slam the drawers, but they could. Buy it right, buy it once, and enjoy the ride. Amish Originals Furniture Company, 38 North State Street in Uptown Westerville, and AmishOriginals.com. A tradition of quality.
Attention trucking industry professionals, iHeartMedia Team presents the 2015 Trucking Industry Job Fair. If you're looking for a career in the trucking industry, this is your chance to meet recruiters with the leading trucking companies in the area. They'll be on site and ready to talk to you. It's the iHeartMedia Dayton Trucking Industry Job Fair, Tuesday, October 20th at the Dayton Masonic Center, 525 West Riverview Avenue. For more, go to iHeartDaytonAdvertising.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
From L.E.P.D Firearms Range and Training Facility, this is OnTarget, the latest from the firearms industry, the products and politics that affect your hobby and liberty. This program may not be politically correct, but it is On Target. Now, your host, Eric Delbert.
Welcome back to On Target. I am your host, Eric, along with my father, Phil, who's running to his chair, Ronnie, who is Boom Boom Tactical, and Mark, our Director of Training. We are broadcasting, of course, live from L.E.P.D Firearms Range on Bethel Road. We are last stop before the full Buckeye coverage tonight. Do you have anything to say about the game, Ronnie?
I'm excited to see how it looks with them wearing all black and everything, and that's very cool.
I am concerned about the score. What do you think the score's going to be? What's the prediction?
I don't know.
I think we'll pull it out.
I think they're going to be up for it because of the uniforms. It's going to be a night game. They always really excel on night games. I think they're going to spank Penn State.
Well, I hope they spank them. I don't want it to be close.
Well, it might be close, but
okay.
Well, we are going over today some of the topics that we missed in the last several weeks. So we're going to kind of go back and forth on some of these and just give a little bit of further thought into them. If you want to jump in anytime, 821-WTVN or 1-800-610-WTVN. Did you guys see out there in the state of Washington, they seem to really be on the forefront of gun control measures. Did you see two things that came out of in the last couple of weeks?
If it's the one thing you told me.
Yeah, they're considering gun drop boxes because, you know, for these folks who have guns laying around the house and you just want to dispose of them, but you're scared to go to the police, they want to put these gun drop boxes like they do for drugs, and you simply just take your gun and put it in the drop box.
So I'm sure lots of people have got just piles of guns sitting around their living room that they want to
But look at it this way. I mean, you just rob a store, and you say, well, I'm going to get rid of this gun, so you drop it in the box.
Very good idea.
And then it'll get destroyed.
Not to mention that mental picture of some dude in a beat-up old pickup backing up and throwing the drop box in his truck. I mean,
yeah. So that was the first thing, and then they came up with they thought this year they should ban firearms and knives and stuff at the state fair. And then the next day, the headlines were state fair workers robbed at gunpoint.
Exactly. Everywhere that you've had a mass shooting, it's been a gun-free zone. Everywhere that you have gun-free zones, you have high crime. You look at Chicago, look at Washington, D.C. All of the cities that have the highest crime rate and homicide rates have extreme gun control measures. So it goes hand in hand.
And it all goes back to and I don't know how the saying goes, but a good guy with a gun. And
the only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun.
Right.
You know, and here's my challenge. For any of these politicians that want to stand up there and say, take the guns away, first you take away your Secret Service or you take away your protection detail and you give up your guns first before you ask anyone else to do it.
Amen, brother.
Right. Or I think, too, we talked about the body cameras a couple weeks ago and stuff. I think we should put body cameras on politicians.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
how about Mr. Ginther with the body camera? I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying.
That would be a good one.
No, that never comes up.
Or
you
his ethics board. Now.
Could you imagine the Clinton administration all having to wear cameras? That would be an X-rated show.
Maybe Bill with a camera. That might be.
That would be X-rated.
So if you want to jump in on the conversations, 821-WTVN or 1-800-610-WTVN. How about, guys, this one was just, I think, last week, the gun store in Wisconsin who was sued by a couple law enforcement officers for selling a gun to someone that ultimately shot them and injured them in the line of duty.
I did not hear about that.
Now, the key part of that was it was a straw purchase. So a straw purchase, for folks who don't know, is something we talk about quite a bit here, and we really try hard to prevent. It's where someone who is legally able to buy a gun buys a firearm for someone who is not legally able to buy one.
Usually you have a boyfriend or a husband that's a convicted felon or prohibited possessor, so they buy it that way. But how would they prove that it was a straw purchase?
In this case, the store apparently had a history of firearms turning up in crimes, and the video had the person who wasn't buying the gun sitting there beside the guy filling it out. There were some discrepancies on the form. The guy who the firearm ultimately went to was 18. It was a pistol being bought, so there was some.
And I think the article said that 500 of the guns that was sold from that store was discovered or recovered in crime.
Right. So they seem to have a higher propensity.
Yeah.
So from our take, I mean, if the store is doing something bad, by all means, they should be held accountable.
Right,
I mean, but if it's just someone who has a straw purchase, I mean, that's so hard to determine sometimes.
And especially if you're talking about a spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend, where this is pre-arranged before they even walk in the store.
Right.
So you don't know who, all you can do is ask and do your your due diligence to make sure. But there's no guarantee.
And now the rest of the story on that, real quick, I think, is that they got sued and they probably went bankrupt. And then they opened up under a different name.
Right. This store has been open under a couple of different names already. So it kind of goes to show you the mentality of the store. Ronnie, you had brought to our attention this week that the EPA is now arming their employees.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible when I heard that, because I mean, it's mind-numbing.
It's not. It's really not, Ronnie. Even before I left the government, we were training agencies like the Department of Agriculture, the EPA, the IRS, all of these agencies that used to be regulatory that did not have law enforcement abilities now do. And it isn't like they're just giving them a sidearm. Some of these agencies are creating tactical units. You have the Department of Agriculture now that has a tactical unit. So
200 agents.
The reason why they say is because Department of Agriculture handles food stamps. Food stamps are tied in with the illegal sale of drugs. This is how it was justified. So because of the risk of the drugs, they had armed the agents and trained the agents. Well, it used to be when I worked for the federal government, when one of those agencies needed a raid, they came to us.
Right.
And we did the raid, but that's gone away now, so it's pretty much every one of the agencies out there that were regulatory are now law enforcement.
Yeah, I have some mixed feelings on this. I think out of all the agencies, the EPA needs to be armed. As often as they piss off people, and I mean, they need
the next time they pollute a big giant river,
people knew
they're out of control.
If people knew how many regulations they have written but have not enforced yet, you'll understand why they're arming them. I mean, they've gone as far as to take control of all of our rainwater. It says that you can't collect rainwater, you can't collect water from a pond or stream. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, and they're using the EPA to close down the coal industry.
They did.
Yeah.
They pretty much have.
Yeah,
they did that with the lead. That's why our bullets are so expensive. Last November of actually we're going over a year now.
Yeah, over
November 2012. They shut down the last lead smelting plant in America. We no longer, EPA did, we can no longer make bullets in America. So we put Americans out of work, and now we import our bullets. And there was not one case of lead poisoning in any of these facilities because they were clean.
But you know what? If everybody gets out there next year and votes, we can get rid of all that.
Well, I hope. But it's a good lead-in, Ronnie, too. One of the next things I had up here was, in politics, we have a mayoral race here in Columbus. First one really in 15 years. I mean, Mayor Coleman has been around for, I think, 15 years now, so it's the first time it's been a hot topic. That both candidates are on the Democratic ticket, which is kind of unique, I think. One being Sheriff Zach Scott and Mr. Andrew Ginther. But even though they're both on that ticket, they seem to be polar opposites on many, many topics. Right. And of course, we tend to hone in on the firearms topic, and on that topic, they are, far apart. One of the things that we had, we've had the sheriff on the show a number of times, and he has showed not only his support for firearms ownership, but for responsible ownership, for training.
How ironic that you have a man that he's on a Democratic ticket, but he's for Americans and the Second Amendment and Americans owning firearms. But look at what he did for a living. He was the sheriff.
Right.
So he has hands-on experience where a lot of these other politicians don't have a clue. They don't have any idea what's going on, and they want to pass legislation and take guns away.
Well, and that's the thing. We, in all fairness, we want to be on the forefront of having a good, healthy debate, and there's certainly things that can be done that the responsible gun owner can do or get behind to keep firearms out of the hands of the bad guy. None of us want to see that. But you know what? When we reach out to Mr. Ginther's campaign to say, hey, come on the show, let's talk about it, of course we get no response.
Because they don't know anything, and this is just what they're told, and they're going to push it because he'll have his protection. He'll have his guards. He'll have law enforcement protecting him. And a lot of these politicians that are yelling gun control have CCWs.
Why don't we issue a challenge right now to Mr. Ginther to come on our show?
Well, I mean, nothing that's going to be. It's not going to be a hostile environment, and we just want to talk about it. I mean,
come on our show. We'll give a cup of coffee.
But all we have to base his gun thoughts on are at the debate. He says, I think it's reckless to be running for the office of mayor of Columbus and to believe that there shouldn't be any restrictions on semi-auto machine guns. Does he really think that that's running amok? I mean, either he's just not knowledgeable in it, or he has no people behind him to tell him the truth.
Most of these politicians, they do not know.
Right.
They do not know.
Well, you know what? For one, a semi-automatic is completely different than a machine gun. The semi-automatic, you have to fire each round separately, and if you have a machine gun legally, you had to jump through so many hoops and pass so many clearances to get your tax stamp. It is unbelievable.
And the cost, $5,000 to $10,000.
Depending on the gun, you could spend up to $10,000.
But to say that the Sheriff Scott believes there shouldn't be any restrictions on semi-auto machine guns, that's just a bold-out false statement. He goes on to say the last thing our neighborhoods need is a proliferation. Can't say that one. Help me out on that.
That's easy for you to say.
Say that 3 times real fast.
That of weapons of mass destruction in our neighborhoods. Weapons of mass destruction. I mean,
that's ridiculous.
That's all key, sound bites.
These are all buzzwords.
All they have to do is take the actual facts, take the statistics from these cities, from New York, from Chicago, from LA, from all these cities that create these ridiculous gun laws, and look at the homicide rate compared to cities that allow firearms and follow the Second Amendment. It speaks for itself.
Yeah, right. And the other thing too is Mr. Ginther and Mr. Coleman were part of the whole Gun Stoppers program that ran from 2010 to 2012, where WBNS 10 TV did an investigation recently, and they said that in that time frame that there's no evidence that any gun was collected, and the program cost $19,000. So. Well, enough for that. We'll be back after this break. We're on target today, broadcasting live from L.E.P.D. Firearms Range. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about the presidential race. And did you guys hear about the state Supreme Court ruling that was a monumental ruling these last couple of weeks? So I'll clue you in on that. We'll be right back after these messages.
The John Corby Show. Would you be happy to be able to go in a restaurant, just pay for your meal, and not have to worry about the tip? Monday at 3.
I don't like the idea. I like the idea of reserving my right to tip on a proportion as to the value of service.
And if you're on the other end, you're a waiter or waitress in one of these high-end restaurants. I'm probably not real happy about this.
No, I would think not.
There's also a lot of people who don't tip too well.
News Radio 610 WTVN.
Sounds to me like it's a moneymaker for the restaurant.
I think they're as guilty as anybody else.
Indoors or out, if you smell something like rotten eggs, it could be natural gas.
The only thing I know about is
so
I'm
smell
reading the paper
and tell. Call Columbia Gas of Ohio and call 911.
That guy who said takes all the
Smell natural gas? Leave the area immediately. Then call Columbia Gas of Ohio and call 911. That is how you smell and tell. Learn more at ColumbiaGasOhio.com.
Hey, I'm standing here next to the politician.
Check out the great deals during Menard's Kitchen and Bath Sale. Replace your old toilet with a Titan 4 Complete Toilet by American Standard. It prevents tank condensation with an AquaGuard tank liner, just $249. Update your bathroom with a Whirlpool from Elger. They feature cleaning jets, which are specially designed to prohibit the growth of mold and mildew. The 8-jet Cabrillo with built-in apron is $549. The 10-jet LaSalle XL is just $699.
Has a upfront policy on this, and that he believes in.
Keith, with all the noise in the market today, how do you cut through the clutter to get folks to hear your message?
It's actually pretty simple. Value. Hyundai offers the most car for the money.
That's true, and Dennis having 2 Hyundai stores makes it even better for Central Ohio buyers.
They can visit either Dennis Hyundai of Dublin or Dennis Hyundai on Morse Road.
2 stores means double the selection of all the new Hyundai names, especially the all-new Tucson.
Whether it's an SUV, car, or luxury vehicle, Hyundai has the best value in the market today.
Not to mention the real value propositions on Hyundai Assurance, which is best
10 years or 100,000 miles of limited powertrain coverage.
And Dennis offers specials that change with the market. For example, lease a 2016 Hyundai Sonata for only $199 for 36 months with 2016 up front.
And there's equally impressive deals on Elantra, Santa Fe, Accent, and Genesis.
Log on to DennisHyundai.com to check out our entire 600 combined car and SUV inventory.
I guess the loudest statement you can make today is to offer a relationship of value. And that's what you can expect from Dennis, the dealer you can trust.
Being your own boss is pretty cool. You can give yourself the day off, offer yourself a raise, and do whatever you want. On the other hand, you also work 18-hour days, occasionally take a pay cut to help your bottom line, and never quite stop thinking about every little detail. So at Fifth Third Bank, we were curious. Could we reward business owners in a whole new way? And we found one we think you'll like. So now when you open a business checking account with qualifying activities, you'll get $400. It's just our way of showing appreciation for all your hard work. From the bank that's curious about finding ways to help your business succeed. Stop into your local Fifth Third Banking Center and open your business checking account today to get your $400 bonus. Is your bank curious enough to ask these kinds of questions? If it isn't, maybe it's time to switch. Fifth Third Bank, the curious bank. Visit 53.com/400 for details on qualifying activity requirements. New business checking account must be opened with a $50 minimum deposit between 10/5 and 11/20/15 under FDIC.
Kathy Cairo of Keller Williams Greater Columbus talks about Downsize Columbus.
When we created the Downsize Columbus event 3 years ago, we thought the need to sell a house was job 1 on the downsizers list. Today, 10 sold-out events and over 2,000 homeowners later, we realize that selling the house is often the last line item. The transition starts with answering a myriad of legal, financial, emotional, and medical questions. And of course, the biggest question of all, what am I going to do with all my stuff? I'm Kathy Cairo. On October 26th, we introduce a brand new revised Downsize Columbus. Of course, we'll talk about the sale of your home, but we'll have top experts in 5 major areas of the downsizing decision to answer your questions. And for the first time, the event is in the evening, so those of you who work can still come to Downsize Columbus. It's 6:30 on Monday, October 26th at the Dublin Community Center. The event is free, but you must register. Go to downsizecolumbus.com for details.
Past seminars have filled up quickly. Register now for Downsize Columbus on Monday evening, October 26th at downsizecolumbus.com. That's downsizecolumbus.com.
Cap City Outfitters in Gilliard. No ego, just solid information and great gear. CapCityOutfitters.com.
I opened the door because
Your ABC6 first warning weather for tonight, or for today actually, overcast high of 49. For tonight, it's going to be a chilly 40 degrees at kickoff. It's at 8 p.m. at Ohio Stadium. For Sunday, high of 54, sun comes back out. It's currently 44 degrees on your severe weather station, News Radio 610 WTVN.
Central Ohio's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 610 WTVN.
Should we go on, guys, or just listen to the music?
You can turn on my microphone.
Welcome back to On Target. We're broadcasting live from LEPD Firearms Range. We got threatened with Mariah Carey, so I guess we are coming back on. We are on target.
It could have been worse. It could have said Barry Manilow.
That's true. That's true. Hey. I am Eric, your host, joined today with my father, Phil, Mark, our director of training, Ronnie, who makes a Boom Boom Tactical. We're going through some of the topics that we missed over the last 5 weeks. I know we don't have a ton of time left, but there's a couple things I did want to get to. You can join in on the conversation, 821-WTVN or 1-800-610-WTVN. As usual, the conversation on the breaks is sometimes a little more heated than on air. that you can watch on our YouTube channel. All the shows are out there now on video. And we were talking a little bit more about the mayoral's race and wanted to make a couple comments on that regards.
Yeah, you know, we could go in and talk about ethics and things like that, but the one thing that we wanted to say is that we have a lot of people that really enjoy shooting, and they may lean a little left and so on, but you know, go out there and vote. And
you have to vote.
And Zach's, yeah.
And the thing with Zach is he came on the show as sheriff, and he's been on the show three times. And he is not shy about his position. I mean, he's honest. He's telling you he believes that the Second Amendment stands and that the people should be able to own a gun if they can legally do so. You know, the rest of them want to dance around with fake numbers. They want to, you know, put on these charades, and they talk about things they don't even know. Talk about machine guns and semi-automatic.
Semi-automatic machine guns.
Right. You know, he doesn't even know what he's talking about. He's just regurgitating what he's being paid to regurgitate.
And you know what? I mean, we truly and honestly would love to be a part of the discussion. I mean, there are some things that can be done, and we would love to be a part of that. So really, when we invite them on, it is truly out of sincerity, because we want to. There's some things that we can do to help.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know about you guys, but you know, and this gun control issue is a very valid issue. I wish they would stick to the issues and not keep on slamming each other, personal, you know, insults and all this. I mean, I don't know about you, whether it's Republican or Democrat. I'm tired of hearing this crap. You know, let's hear about the issues.
But they do that on purpose, because if they keep slamming each other, then that gets media attention, that gets everyone's attention, and that way they don't have to talk about the subject or the topic.
And that's the one thing that Eric pointed out, is that a lot of people see people in this industry a different way. We would love to, there are certain things that we could do together that we would love to do to make it safer to own firearms.
And we have offered that.
We have offered that.
Yeah. Look at how many firearm owners there are out there. The majority that are used in crimes is such a very minute. I know you had the number 1 point, Ronnie, 0.00001 or something like that. So, you know, there's a lot of us out there who are willing to do something. We just need to get them to sit at the table.
I've been in third world countries working, and down in Mexico, where they took the guns away from the people were being slaughtered by the cartels who don't follow the laws, and they were the only ones that were armed. I mean, it doesn't work.
Well, thanks for joining us for the last hour. We will be back next week, another night game, and we're going to be talking a little bit about new products. We're going to throw in a little bit of political stuff as well, talk about the presidential debate. Yes.
Hey, it's a great time for practicing your dry fire skills during this season. You can lay on the couch, watch TV, and during the debates, just practice your sight picture.
Perfect. We'll catch you next week, 1 o'clock at L.E.P.D. Firearms and Range. We're on target. See you next week.
That was a good one, Mark. That's what I tell people.
Puppies. There's something about those furry little things that just makes you feel good. Now imagine you're playing fetch with a cuddly canine friend. And your little buddy comes trotting back, tail wagging, and drops a West Banco 0% intro rate loan offer right into your lap. Now that'll make you feel really good.
Get a home equity FlexLine 0% intro APR for 90 days, with APRs as low as 2.85% after the intro period. It's the joy of banking from West Banco. After 90 days, the 0% introductory APR converts to Wall Street Journal.
1 second there, Mr. Sean. We'll do the commercials.
Minimum amount financed is $5,000, subject to credit approval. Call 1-800-328-3369 for details about credit cost and terms. Offer available through 2015. West Banco Bank Inc. is an equal housing lender.
Men, if you're like me, you appreciate the feeling of a clean, smooth shave from a quality blade. A sort of shave that cuts clean, without the burn. So why are you messing around with generic razors that cost $32 for an 8-pack, when you can shave with Harry's high-quality German-engineered blades for half the price? And if saving money and a clean shave isn't incentive enough, Harry's will give you their starter set, complete with a razor, 3 of their world-famous blades, and shaving cream for just $15. And shipping is always free. We'll also give you $5 off your first order. Our way of saying thank you for trying us. How are we able to save you all this money and still give you the best shave you'll ever enjoy? By owning the factory that manufactures them. That's how. So go to harrys.com.
Okay, it's gonna be 1 sec here.
And enter code 8800 at checkout. That's harrys.com.
Okay.
Code 8800.
Live from Lane Avenue at the home of the undisputed national champions. News Radio 610 WTVN Columbus. WDCHD to Asheville. This is the best coverage.
All right, I think I'm ready. I'm kind of winging this story of my life. All right. Okay. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. We're gonna go crash their party here in a little bit. Yes, sir. Use me to. I can do like Monday or Tuesday or something. Yeah. Okay. All right, you ready? This is Eric, host of OnTarget. This week we'll talk about new products in the National Firearm Debate, and I will have the Gun of the Week, sponsored by Jackson Egress Windows. Join us Saturday at 1 p.m. on News Radio 610 WTVN. You want the next one? Oh, no, that's okay.
Can you bring these over there?
Yeah.
Over there to just a little bit beyond where that door's open?
Yeah. They can open it. Well, yeah. Come to the back. Come on.
Hey, Lori, didn't you tell Luke that they could open the door?
Who opened the door? Did open the door?
Just leave her.
Come on. This is Eric, host of OnTarget. Tomorrow we'll talk about new products in the National Firearm Debate, and I will have the Gun of the Week, sponsored by Jackson Egress Windows. Join us tomorrow at 1 p.m. on News Radio 610 WTVN.
Hey, come. Sorry.
This is Eric, host of OnTarget. Today we'll talk about new products in the National Firearms Debate, and I will have the Gun of the Week, sponsored by Jackson Egress Windows. Join us later today at 1 p.m. on News Radio 610 WTVN. All right. Are you here next week? Oh, next week's when you're gone. Okay. Okay. Well, I have. How can I talk to her next week on Facebook and stuff? E-M-Y. Oh, word. Okay, and you want to...
Now Luke knows they can open the door.
Okay, and it's your friends list, right? Where do... You kind of have to stack them. If you do that way... Okay, how do I find your friends? Okay. Okay, I see friends. What happens if it says you don't have any friends? I'm teasing you. Okay, I got you now. And I just gotta do a friend request for her, right? Okay, so friend request sent. Okay, cool. Thank you, sir. All right, have a good one. Bye.
Can we have Luke come take us down?